ladies and gentlemen. Today, our group Ming Square, we will present about the Berlin Wall. Our table of contents contain about the origin of the Berlin Wall. What is the Berlin Wall? The Berlin Airlift. Why did the Berlin Wall exist? Differences of life during the wall. Why did the wall fall? And impacts of the wall to our modern world. So let's start with a little history. So Germany, Berlin, and the Berlin Wall exists in Germany, and it happened because when Germany lost in World War II in 1945, the Allies split the country into four zones. West Berlin, controlled by the US, UK, and France, they were democratic, and East Berlin is controlled completely by one power, which is the USSR, aka the Communists. And when the USSR take control of the East Berlin and East Germany overall, Churchill, the Prime Minister of the UK, has claimed that an Iron Curtain has descended across the continent, which means that the USSR is censoring every single information about them, and we know basically nothing. So here's a little analogy of the Berlin Wall and Berlin overall for you guys to understand. So remember, red is communist and blue is Democrats. Okay? Good. Okay, so first, like I said before, West Germany is controlled by Democratic and East Germany is controlled by the communists. You can see by the color. And in East Germany, there's a city called Berlin. Berlin is divided up into two sections by Democratic and Communist too. The reason is because Berlin is the capital of Germany and it's a political symbol. And it's going to be very harmful for one power to control it. That's why it got split. So in order to go from Germany, of West Germany to West Berlin, they need to travel the road that is controlled by East Germany, and East Germany government can block the road off. They can block it off right here, and the only way that West Germany can go to West Berlin would be by planes. Let's talk about the Berlin Airlift. So the Berlin Airlift happened when the Marshall Plan was being deployed. It's a $12 million aid for West Germany and West Berlin by Truman, and to help the West side to be richer and be more developed than the East, because if the East is poorer, they will lose the Cold War. Stalin, the former chairman of the USSR, blocked all land travels to West Berlin because he didn't want West Berlin to be richer than East Berlin. So Truman did a very awesome thing by ordering airdrop to supply aid to Berlin, known as the Berlin Airlift. From 1948 to 1949, approximately 300,000 flights and 2.3 million tons of supplies were dropped. And here's a little video about it.
Stalin wanted the West out, so he said, "Hey, guess what? I'm blockading all of your supply routes to West Berlin. What are you going to do about it?" "I suppose we'll just fly the supplies in." Alright, Truman, you win this round. The Berlin Airlift was an incredible undertaking and a major success for the Western Allies, and Stalin ended his blockade of West Berlin. His aggressive actions...
Right. So here's a little fun fact about the Berlin Airlift, about the candy bomber. So the candy bomber name is Gail Halvorsen. He saw German kids without any candies because it was the end of the war and they lose everything. So from his heart, he felt guilty. He decided to deliver chocolate. And when the kid asked how to identify his plane, he said, I will wiggle he will wiggle his wings in order for the kid to know which plane contains the chocolate. And he got the name Uncle Wiggly Wings. He himself delivered 23 tons of chocolates. I just misspoke it, sorry. So now let's talk about the Berlin Wall. Berlin Wall is a wall that separates Berlin, which is the capital of Germany, into two parts, East and West Berlin, from 1961 to 1991. It's built under the Soviet Union under Khrushchev regime, which is the chairman right after Stalin. Exist. So under Khrushchev regime, There is a significant differences in life qualities between East Berlin and West Berlin. West were very rich and the East were dirt poor. So East Berliners were running away, were escaping into West Berlin, and East Berlin lose a vast amount of workers, which led to more problems in the economy. So to prevent people from escaping, Khrushchev built a wall, like a literal wall, to keep his people in. And while the wall was being built, JFK did not have any real actions to stop it because he claimed he would not interfere with the east side. And it's also called the wall of separation because of it separates the line of being rich, being very rich, and from poverty, and it showed the failure of a system, which is the communist system.
So it's me coming. So as Wilson said, the lifestyle of West and East is very different. So at on West Berlin, it got support by American a lot. So they got rich, and the East Berlin is living in a difficult circumstance. West Berlin became a financial center. East Berlin damaged by mass looting and no aid from communist government. So that's why the East Berlin is poor and stuck with the poverty. So this is the JFK response to about the world. This is the quote: "Freedom has many difficulties, and democracy is not perfect, but we have never had to put up a wall to keep our people in." The war incident, Checkboy Charlie. So on this time, both sides, East Berlin and West Berlin, like from East Berlin, they bring of John F. Kennedy. They bring a lot of tank and soldier to show off the power. What? Show off the power, and from the West Berlin, they did the same thing. So the tank roll in as power show off. The USSR did the same, and it stay in 16 hours. I did the war for So the war for begin with the Gorbachev doctrine that let the people choose their own future, which create a freedom movement in the Eastern Bloc. On November 9, 1989, the spokesman for East Berlin announced a change of relation with the West Berlin, but announced it was incorrectly. So this is a small video.
On live TV at 6:53 p.m. on November 9th, he read the relaxed travel laws for the first time out loud.
Also Privatreisen nach dem Ausland können ohne Vorliegen von Voraussetzungen, Reiseanlässe und Verwandtschaftsverhältnisse.
It seemed totally unreal, but it was Schabowski saying it and was broadcast on official television, so it had to be true. There were people around me, older colleagues, who immediately said, "This is the beginning of the end."
Watch a confused Schabowski shuffle his papers when a journalist asks a simple follow-up question.
Das tritt nach meiner Kenntnis ist das sofort. Unverzüglich.
So, okay. This is the small picture of Gorbachev, the game changer. So, and this is the Ronald Reagan response to the world. This is a small video of it. The famous beast.
Behind me stands a wall that encircles the free sectors of this city, part of a vast system of barriers that divides the entire continent of Europe. General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberalization, come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Okay, and this is some image of a toppling wall. So the impact of the war on Germany. So citizens of Berlin was reunited after the war fall. Citizens of Berlin was reunited after 3 decades of separation, and after 1 year, Germany was reunited as an independent country. So this is from my left hand is a picture of West Berlin flag, and my right hand is East Berlin flag. Both of them combined from Germany flag now. Hey. So the impact of the war fall on the Eastern Europe. After the Berlin Wall fall, USSR gradually losing political control over its satellite state. Some states that broke out and became independent countries is 15 state, famous ones like Russia, Georgia. Mm. The impact of the war fall on the USSR. So USSR losing their political power in the Eastern Europe, and 9 years after the war fell, USSR dissolved it to the modern day Russia. This is the picture of how the USSR losing power. Next. So this is the sources, and we are done. Yay!
Thanks for watching.
Bye.